Do you see this? I really enjoy seeing that logo, that ADA logo, right above Trump. I really do enjoy seeing that. Ironically enough, AVAX to the left of his head as well. Trump now accepting crypto. One of the first, I think the first major candidates. I mean, this is Trump accepting crypto. This is huge. And he's already kind of just backed crypto in the last few weeks. As you see, that those were some headlines. And I've realized, look, Dogecoin's there, XRP's there, Solana's up there. This was probably a graphic they used. Boom, just put it in the background on that iPhone. But that is so good. ADA. You know what? That is just a very telling picture. These are top players. These are players that aren't going anywhere. Whether you're just all in on Solana, you're all in on Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, XRP, AVAX, these things are not going anywhere. And I think that's very telling. And that picture right there is so incredibly bullish for me. This video, we're going to talk about Cardano and AVAX specifically, how AVAX plays a role in my crypto story. And we're going to really look at charts too. Some really cool dynamics when we look at ADA compared to AVAX. So please hit the subscribe, hit the like. Let's jump into the video. I'm going to be talking about both of these, ADA and AVAX. And before anybody says anything, here's a post from 2022. This was February 2022, if I can get back to it. Just talking about ascending triangle. AVAX has been on my radar for quite some time. And here's earlier this year, AVAX going to be a top performer this bull cycle. This was in February. Here's today, AVAX looking like it's going to be a top altcoin season play. But it really kind of occurred to me. And I want to discuss this in this video when it comes to AVAX. It's just, I think, a really solid piece of the portfolio for this bull cycle, especially next to ADA. They both have two different things kind of going for them. But one main thing that is the same, altcoin season, which is approaching in my view. And this is where we are. I've been tracking altcoin season, right? If we look at Bitcoin halvings historically, there's 2016, altcoin season right here. Months later, really, and that's it. That's altcoin season. Bitcoin dominance falling. And then months after the 2020 halving, Bitcoin dominance falling. So as Bitcoin dominance has been rising, we've been getting ready for the bull market to start. We've been getting ready for Bitcoin halving. I've really just been sitting back like wondering, man, what am I going to really be doing with my portfolio? How do I want this diversified? I've been taking my time. And this cycle it seems like things are moving quickly. And I think altcoin season could kick off at any moment. It doesn't necessarily have to wait so long after Bitcoin halving because previous cycles it did. This cycle in general, from the bear market low, we've seen crypto doing things it has not done. Bitcoin breaking all-time high before the Bitcoin halving for the first time. So we're moving a little quicker, and I've really started most recently just really diversifying and getting set up with my altcoin plays. I think that's incredibly important. Obviously, everybody covers so much Cardano. I'm such a Cardano bull. And when it comes to other altcoins, maybe some might be too low cap to even talk about, but it consists of, as of now, I would say mainly Cardano ecosystem tokens. Bitcoin ecosystem tokens is a huge, I think, play for this cycle, especially when it comes to meme coins on Bitcoin. Base, which is Coinbase's layer 2, the meme coin play there is going to be incredible. I want to make sure I'm diversified into that. And AVAX. And when we talk about AVAX, I really want to tie it into the ADA charts because there is an interesting dynamic on the AVAX charts. And by the way, Cardano has its narratives that we talk about nonstop, these bullish narratives. It is an incredibly unique top 10 crypto like no other. I've been in meme coin communities, for instance, where you see like the community takes over and then it's community driven and it's just like a small cap meme coin. Do you realize Cardano, with this decentralized staking mechanism, this consensus that it has, which is like no other, is on track to be basically this fully run network by the community? And we're talking about a top 10 coin with so much upside. This is in such a unique position. That decentralization narrative, though it might not be the most pumpy or the most popular, I think it is incredibly bullish from a fundamental perspective. And I think that will reflect in ADA's value. And then we have something like AVAX. I want to just point this out real quick. I came across this today. Avalanche is the only major chain other than BTC and ETH not listed as a security in the recent SEC lawsuit. And before you say anything, ADA, I did a post about this on ADA. If Ethereum isn't a security because of this ETF getting approved, then Cardano certainly isn't a security either. And that is because decentralization, the launch method, unlike Ethereum's ICO, had a very fair launch in Japan with vouchers. But check this out, though. Here's the thing about AVAX that I think is very bullish. What they said there, and then this, combine that with Avalanche's partnerships with major banks like JP Morgan, suddenly Avalanche seems to be the most likely ETF candidate following Ethereum. AVAX is going to have this push of this narrative. And it is going to, I think, do very well. This is John Wu. He's the president of Ava Labs, just talking about it publicly, openly. Check this out. This is from yesterday.
In fact, my prediction is after there is a Bitcoin ETF, shortly you'll see Ethereum, and even better, you're going to have a big trend in ETFs right now are active managed ETFs. Suddenly you're going to have actively managed ETFs for the crypto asset class, and then you're going to have things like Avalanche in there. You're going to have things like
I mean, he's excited. He mentions Chainlink too next, but he's excited. He's excited about the prospects here. And you better believe this narrative is going to be pushed very hard. And just not only that, when we go look at the AVAX chart, right? If we look at the AVAX chart, it's done pretty well so far. And I think with its performance thus far, I think it's becoming very clear that it's going to be, as I've said for quite some time now, a top performer this bull cycle. And so what I wanted to do in this video was really just discuss the dynamics of ADA and AVAX, because for me, these are two players for me. If we look at the ADA chart, I want to really focus on something. Bitcoin halving just happened. Here we are, right? We're waiting for key things to happen, both on the ADA and AVAX chart. Here's the 20-week moving average on ADA. It's around 56 cents. Going over to the AVAX chart, we are, hold on one second. I moved my screen. Let me move it back. Going back to the AVAX chart, we are right at the 20-week moving average, that green line that you see right around $41 or so. These two areas need to kick off, need to break, and this is going to do something pretty spectacular for these charts, I believe. If we look at last cycle, check out the 20-week moving average last cycle when AVAX was breaking that area for the first time. January 2021, kind of the end of December. We can take the end of December 2020 to that swing high. Look at this. We're looking at, and that was in February, to the swing high, around 2,000% gains for AVAX for that first move to the upside. Now, here's where the dynamics between AVAX and ADA become very, I want to say exciting, because if you're holding these two in this bull market, there might be some similar vibes playing out. If we go to ADA, the same time frame where AVAX saw 2,000% gains, that's December 2020 to February. We go to ADA. There's that first move. It was a power move for ADA, but check this out. From end of December to that February, I don't know if it was this candle or this next candle, but 500 to 600%, 500, 700% we're looking at for ADA. That was that swing high, right? But what I want you to notice is for ADA, it didn't stop there, right? So AVAX, if we look at the AVAX chart for that move, it stopped and it actually started to dip. It started dipping, just consolidating. I mean, we saw a dip to the 20-week for 58%. Now check this out on the ADA chart. It didn't stop right there in February. It kept going basically to this swing high, seeing around 2,000% gains. I find that very interesting how the two of those traded very differently, but altogether kind of the same, right? But way different setups and way different movements. But now let's go to this next one. And this is where things become intriguing again. So AVAX had a massive dip. We're talking 80% to the downside. And then what happened? We're going to look at from July 2021 to its all-time high. We're looking at around November 2021, another 1,600% gains. Now let's go look at ADA. Check this out for ADA. We're looking at July to November, right? Well, let's do July to September, because ADA was done. 180% gains. So you can just see from those two moves alone, last cycle, AVAX outperformed ADA. And not only that, ADA, as many people know, ADA, its bull market ended early last cycle. That just is the way that it is. Now, if we look at these two charts together, zoomed out, let me zoom out on AVAX, let me zoom out on ADA. We're primed, now that Bitcoin halving has begun, we're primed to start another altcoin bull cycle, right? You can see altcoin season last cycle just by looking at an ADA chart. This is where it started, right? Months after the Bitcoin halving here. I don't know exactly when altcoin season is going to kick off. There's no guarantee it's going to definitely kick off, right? I speak about it like it's definitely going to happen. It happens like clockwork every cycle. I think it will, but I want to put this out there. I have no idea if it definitely will or not. And I'm always prepared for just this scenario where it's like, it didn't happen. Where's altcoin season, right? Why aren't altcoins breaking all-time highs? What's going on this cycle? It could happen, everybody. I'm prepared for that. I don't think it will happen, but now as we're kicking off this new cycle and altcoin season, it could be weeks away. It could be a couple months away or more. I'm trying to prepare my portfolio with kind of a diverse just mix of performers. And both ADA and AVAX are going to be, in my view, performers in this cycle. And I think there's going to be a ton of other performers. Many I don't hold, many I'm interested in, but for me, I like to be very focused on the ones that I choose. And there's qualities about Avalanche that I do like, and there's also especially qualities about the narratives of Avalanche that I really like this cycle. The other thing is this: if this is another narrative, Avalanche right now this cycle I think it just broke back above $1 billion in TVL. No surprise. I just posted about this on X, by the way, but ADA should be on here like number 16. ADA is not even listed on DeFi Llama right now. It's not even listed, but I think it's at like 300 some million TVL. So they're both just doing very well in that regard. If we go to CoinMarketCap, check this out. They're right next to each other, 10 and 11. So I think holding both right now with kind of different narratives, I like that. And I just like both charts. And it's going to be very interesting to see the dynamic of each trading within this cycle. And I think it just helps balance things out a little bit. So I wanted to cover that. There's still so much to talk about in relation to the two. And especially when it comes to, critical areas that we're watching on these charts. The 20-week moving average right now is a big one for both. If you just look at this, AVAX right now, and there's still 5 days, 2 hours of the weekly, AVAX kind of, it's above the 20-week moving average right now. We go to ADA. You can just see ADA below, not even at that 20-week, but the move, I think, coming, especially when we look at things like that stock RSI on the weekly that we've talked about before. If I open it up right here, in that oversold environment, a power move for ADA coming. Here's the thing. When you look at this zoomed out chart for ADA and you look at a zoomed out chart for AVAX, AVAX looks more powerful, especially from these lows back here. And it has outperformed Cardano. Whether or not that story continues, I'm not sure. Whether or not we get similar insane, just downward volatility, I'm not exactly sure, right? But if you look at that swing low on AVAX last cycle to the all-time high, we're talking about 5,300%. That's December to all-time high. And then you go to ADA and we look at this December to all-time high. We're looking at around 2,300%. In that time frame, obviously Cardano didn't perform as well. We extend this back to the COVID swing low, then ADA is at around 16,000%. And if we look at AVAX, I'm not even sure if we have that November, December. Yeah, on this chart, we don't even have the March 2020 swing low. I'm not sure exactly where it is on this chart, on this AVAX chart, but all the while, doesn't matter. That's some nice gains on AVAX. I think AVAX is going to do very well this cycle, and I think today it really just clicked for me. Altcoin season's approaching. I think I like AVAX a lot. And so it's a big play for me, I would say, this cycle. Wanted to share that with you. Let me know your thoughts if, there's others that you're watching. I know there's a lot of people that it's just kind of like all in on Solana. They're all in on Ethereum. I like to spread it out a little bit when we have altcoin season approaching, just because I just think everything's going to be performing well. And I want to pick narratives and coins that I'm just comfortable with, whether it's the charts or what's going on fundamentally for those things. So those are my thoughts on these two tokens. This is just bullish in general, this picture. Do you see that? This is a new era, I think, that we're getting ready to enter for crypto. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, everybody. I appreciate you. Hit the subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Hit that like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.